It's an absolutely gorgeous day here in Da Nang, Vietnam. And as we were exploring the streets right around the area where we're staying, I could not believe it, but there was this incredible market garden. And I came in here and spoke with the nuns. This is actually a Catholic-run school for students with special needs. There's about 300 students, and all of them have different disabilities. They might be deaf, they might have autism, other motor function disabilities, but one of the big things that they do here is farming and teaching them to garden. So I wanted to show you guys around here and just really some of the incredible things that they're doing here. It really reminds me of a lot of different market gardens in America and around the world. So how cool that this was just a minute's walk away from where I'm staying. So I got permission from one of the nuns and I talked to the gardener over here and they said it's okay to film. So and here's a lady prepping the bed. So everything is done by hand, obviously, which that reminds me of me prepping a bed. And the beds look like they're about 2.5, 3 foot wide. And this is an organic farm, and I read about their farm on their website. I'll put that up for you guys if you'd like to go check out more information about the school and this ministry that they're doing here. But I thought these raised beds are pretty cool. It's all done in concrete. So underneath, I don't know if it's concrete too, but they're growing all different types of greens here. So looks like green onions and chives. This looks like a bok choy or a joy choy, one of those types. Lots of different lettuces. And this place is huge. I mean, they probably have an acre worth of vegetables growing here. This looks like amaranth. Amaranth, beautiful heads of lettuce, look at that. Here in Vietnam, they grow a lot of different mustard greens and brassica family plants, so different kales. I'm not sure exactly what this is. This almost looks like a New Zealand spinach, or they use a lot of different greens here in Vietnam that are quite different than what we'd be used to in the States, but it's a lot of things that are similar to a spinach. Here's a bunch of dill that went to flower. And I actually got to eat here at their little cafe, which also supports the school. And they make really great food. And a lot of the food there is also grown here. A lot of this food is also sold to restaurants and hotels around the area. You can actually buy your local produce from these guys. Of course, the students are eating all of this great organic food as well. So I was just really impressed by the school here and all the different things that they're doing. They're doing vocational training for all these students, try to get them ready for either a job once they're older, or to just give them life skills they can go out and succeed in whatever that they're gonna do after school. Oh, look at that, so they're prepping the pathway. Look at that, cool, it's like a shovel at a 90-degree angle. Well, it's really cool. And here's their whole seedling setup. So they're just growing in little cell trays, like I'm sure a lot of you guys do at home. Then they've also got hydroponics. I believe that's morning glory right there. This is a plant that's eaten in Thailand, Vietnam, throughout Southeast Asia. It's a really famous dish in Thailand. It's very delicious. And back here, more green. So there's, looks like bok choy. Another brassica type choy family lettuce here, which is really fantastic if you've ever tried it stir-fried, or it's just really good. Back here, ooh, we got chickens back here and some geese. Those geese might not like me back here. Wow. Oh, look at that. They've got soaked feed right there, so they're fermenting their feed. All right, let me get out of here. They don't like me here. If you didn't know, geese are a really good protector of chickens. That's why they went crazy, because they saw somebody they didn't know back there. But that was really cool to see. They're fermenting feed. It was a big, you can tell they soaked their feed, which is something I highly recommend everybody do. And there's a bunch of students over there. They did mention not to film the school. I'm guessing they probably don't want the students on camera, so I'm gonna try to avoid doing that. But here we have a bunch of tomatoes. And look at, I always love seeing how different trellises are made around the world, and this is just bamboo, and you'll see a lot of bamboo structures here in Southeast Asia that either they live in or that are sheds or here as a trellis. So these look like they're probably just a determinate type tomato, which in hotter, humid climates, it makes a lot of sense to do determinate, meaning that the plant is gonna die once it puts off most of its fruit. The indeterminate, the vining type, just keeps growing and growing and you can keep harvesting. But if you have a lot of mold and mildew problems, then it's better to do determinate. So actually in Tennessee, determinates make a lot of sense because I've had fungal issues every single year in my garden. Here's another plant that's used in Vietnamese cuisine a lot. This is culantro. This is another great green to try growing at home if you've never tried it. Sort of similar-ish to cilantro, not really, but it's a really interesting green that they put in pho, which is a rice noodle soup, usually beef, meat, and broth. And this is really interesting. So they got concrete posts in the ground and then strings going across. So at some point in the year, maybe they're doing some sort of vertical crops right here, but it's pretty interesting to see concrete being used. And for their irrigation, there's no drip system. It's all done by these sprinklers. And they just look like a wobbler style sprinkler. It just shoots water out everywhere. And yeah, it's pretty cool to see that they're doing no-till. I mean, just look at this. This is just as beautiful as any no-till organic farm I've seen in America. Really, really cool to see this level of farming done right here. And we're in the middle of the city here in Da Nang, about a 5-minute walk from the beach. So now I'm gonna take you over to the hydroponic area. They actually have a pretty big hydroponic setup. They have multiple areas where they're doing it. It's almost looks like chard. That's their reservoir tank, it looks like. So inside of that, it looks like an IBC tote and a pump. And they're probably putting their nutrients that feed these plants. So if you don't know what hydroponics is, there's just water running through these little tubes here. And the plants are getting nutrients fed directly to their roots. So doing hydroponics with greens is a really nice way to grow a lot of greens really, really quickly. So in here, we've got lots of cucumbers in here. And at the top, this is, oh wow, look at that. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Some sort of legume, I guess. But you can really see how big this place is. I mean, this is only about half of it. There's a whole nother section on the other side that we'll go check out as well, but. Oh yeah, this is a green that I've seen put in soups. It has sort of an herby, sagey, a little bit of a flavor. It's really tasty. And even these trees here are interesting, aren't they? Very different than anything I've ever seen before. Over in the back, they've got guava. So yeah, again, with these trellises, concrete, bamboo stakes to help support the net. And then they're running metal poles across the top. So, I mean, this is a pretty inexpensive, but very durable, pretty permanent style trellis system here. Looks like this is a bunch of peppers here. So here's your cucumbers. Oh, look, even some aloe vera. That's pretty neat. These 4 beds right here are all mint. And if you've ever had pho or Vietnamese food, mint and basil are 2 really big herbs they use in their food a lot. And the mint is really amazing. And all the different Vietnamese food, it just gives this real freshness to the food that is so different. They're growing a ton of it here. Here's some morning glory that's grown in the field. And it looks like it's been harvested somewhat recently, going out to their customers. Oh, wow. I'm not sure if this is intentional or this is, they're trying to do this, but this looks close to like a duckweed or this is a water plant. You could feed it to your chickens or other fish. It's kind of cool to see that in here. So here's a plant, I have no idea what this is. I'll try to look it up, but you know, they're growing a decent amount of it, but it's it has some, looks like it has some pretty flowers on it. Really thick vine, and they're trellising it and growing it in, just looks like what is cocoa coir. Some of the workers planting, prepping the beds. Gosh, looks amazing. Hello. So she just laid out all of her plants and now she's popping them in the ground real quick. And that's how it's done. That's like a super efficient way to do it by hand. So I take you over to the flower garden over here. I just wanted to show you some of the other beautiful areas in this place. And if you're in Da Nang, highly recommend coming to Thanh Tam Cafe over here. So you can get some really good food and coffee and all that stuff. Look at this cutie. So here's some of the stuff they do with the kids. They do pottery, so they're painting all this stuff. This is one of the art classes. They do painting in here. And this is the entrance to the bakery and where you can get food. So right here, this is just out in the street here in the Ao Thong area. And where we're staying is just right down this little street. So when we found it, we came over here and looked and I said, oh my gosh, this is like this incredible market garden over here. So yeah, how crazy is that, that this is right by the place where we're staying? I mean, this is like incredible. This is one of the, I mean, this is the best urban garden I've ever been to anywhere in the world. So let's head over to their flower garden. I just wanted to show you that because it was really pretty. But if you're interested in learning more about the Thanh Tam School here, I'll put the website down in the description. They take donations and they do volunteer work. They even said like they'll take volunteers from abroad. You can do like Skype, I guess, helping the kids learn stuff. So check out their website if you're interested in learning more about this school. Yeah, oh, no, stop. Okay, well, they just told me I can't go any further. I should just stay at the farm. So hope you guys enjoy seeing a little bit of what a Vietnamese organic urban farm looks like. And I will see you guys in the next video.